Hello, this is Kim from improvability.tv, and you are very welcome to this webinar called Make This Year Your Year. Now, for those of you who are a bit shocked, I'm trying this without glasses today because, well, I'm not going to waste your time and explain exactly why. But, I've been watching some of the videos I've done recently, and Neil tells me that I'm constantly doing this and looking up, and that's because I've been using my varifocals wrongly. So I don't know whether you know what varifocals are, but at the bottom of the glasses, let me just put these on to show you. These aren't those, but there's a piece at the bottom here that allows me to read, and then the rest of it is supposed to be distance learning, distance vision. And I've been going like this. So for a few years now, I've been looking through this bit at the bottom to read the screen on my computer, and I can actually read it better without my glasses. So I've switched glasses. These don't have varifocal bits in the bottom. The first couple of days I tried it, I got a thumping headache. So if you see me going a bit like Animal from the Muppets, then I'm sorry. But please bear with me, we will get there. I've got my notes. Maybe I ought to make the whole thing bigger, but anyway, it's fine. We'll get through, because I have a set of notes. I always go off at a tangent. I never stick to my notes. I've highlighted some things in the yellow highlighter that we have to approach today because I've promised to. But if I go off at a tangent and I need to get back on track, you'll see me go reading the notes. So thanks for bearing with me. I just thought I'd explain that in case you wanted to know what's going on. Also, it's freezing here. Woke up this morning, snow on the ground, snow. So I've got a fat cup of tea, and the little heater is on as well. So if I start burning up and start going pink, you'll see me disappear off screen to turn the heater off, because that happens as well. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. I think I can actually see who's, like I say, sorry if I'm in your face. Right, lovely to see you here. There's Aileen, there's Coral, me, do I call you me, or, and Trudy. There is a chat box, so feel free to type any questions in there, and I will try to notice that I have got some questions. Mi Fong is your first name. Thank you, Mi Fong. Sometimes well, I'm hopeless with women's names. It's not just you. Absolutely hopeless. I can't remember women's names at all. I think every woman should be called Penelope, because it would make my life a lot easier. Men don't seem to have a problem remembering their names. Strange, isn't it? So thank you for joining. Hilary just joined. Christina, lovely to see you here. Aileen, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day, because I know what it's like. So for those of you in the UK, I hope you're all nice and, well, trying to keep warm. For those of you in Australia, I think you've got heat waves, haven't you? It's a strange planet we live on. Christina, yes, didn't know it's changed. Sorry. Right. Okay, so this is a little webinar that I wanted to, I've been talking about this for some time, and I just wanted to put a few more in-depth ideas together. Carol, lovely to have you with us as well. This, I've called it Make This Year Your Year. And according to Esther, one of my lovely image consultants, who is normally able to join us. So Chris, lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us. Esther calls these Kim's lunchtime lectures. It's just a bit of fun. That's the only reason I've called it that. I am sincerely asking you to ask questions as we go through. And if I don't get a chance to answer the questions during the webinar, I will get back to you, I promise. Okay, so what are we going to look at today? We are going to look at what needs to change if your 2019 is going to be better than your 2018, your 2017, 16, 15, etc. I also want to talk about the only thing that you have control over in your life. How to easily become financially independent in 2019, because I think for some of you, that is the change you're looking for. Those are the conversations I've been having recently. So Christine says, you look so different. It's your specs. Yes, I've just explained. So if you watch the replay, you'll see why I'm leaving my specs off today. And also the 6 questions you must answer before you make any changes this year. We've got a lot to get through. So I'm going to blast on. If I've not said hello to you, oh, Donna, I haven't said hello. Lovely to have you with us. Let me just check. This list is Stephanie, lovely to have you here. Trudy, if I've said hello to you before, I'm just getting excited, overexcited. It's so lovely to have you all here. Can't believe it. Okay, so the conversations I've been having with people have been about those dratted horrible things called New Year's resolutions. Did you make any? I don't ever make them, but did you? Excuse me. Has somebody else joined us? No, I think we're all okie dokie. Right. Here are the top 10 most common resolutions. See if any of these are the ones you made. To get organised, to learn something new, to spend more time with the family, to lose weight, to quit whatever it is, smoking, drinking, drugs, lounging on the settee, whatever it is, to enjoy life more, to exercise more, to start a business, to get out of debt, to find the perfect partner, to help others more, to earn more money. Those are the top 12. Oh, I said 10. I came up with 12. It's some research from some conversations that I've been having. And, you know, they're all ridiculously generic and they mean absolutely nothing because they're probably the self-same 10 or 12 New Year's resolutions that you set last year and the year before. So how much you need to make them not generic, to make them specific, you need to drill down into something like exactly how much weight do you want to lose? Not, I just want to lose weight. Lose weight is like, everybody wants to lose weight, do they? I don't know. It's a stupid thing to say, Kim. Of course they don't. To find the perfect partner. Well, what does that perfect partner look like? I have here, let me just find this. I'm not going to show it you. Not even going to turn it to the screen for a moment. But this, that's the back of it. This is a piece of paper I wrote. Let me think. Neil and I have been together 24 years this year. 24 years. So I wrote this 6 years before we met. So that's 30 years. That piece of paper is 30 years old. That describes my perfect partner. And apart from number 1, which I crossed out because I realised that was a pile of crock, that's exactly what he is. Exactly. That's why I keep it. Get specific about your goals. So how much debt do you need to clear? What kind of exercise do you want to undertake? That makes a goal, a resolution, because that's just another word for a goal, isn't it? That just makes it more specific. And another thing is, when you start setting these resolutions and they fall by the wayside, what are the reasons? Do you feel it's getting too late to achieve all your dreams? Do you think, I haven't got my perfect partner and I'm 73,000 years old? So you write yourself off, don't you, and think, can't do that, that'll never happen. Or as a couple of the ladies I've been talking to have said, well, I'm a single mum and I've got 17 kids. Who's going to take me on? Excuse me. You know, I have examples of clients who have been in that situation and have found the perfect partner to take them on. So don't write yourself off. It's never too late. For starting a business, clearing your debts, earning more money, two of the best image consultants that I have ever worked with both came to me totally separately. One's from Nottinghamshire. When I pass her house, I always think about her because she gives talks on Queen Victoria. Just up my heroine is Elizabeth I. That's it, but it's our mutual conversation. We love talking about these queens. And Di came to me when she was 63 years old to train as an image consultant because she knew she had more to give. Carol, who lives up in the Lake District, totally different time space. She came to me amazingly when she was 63 years old to start a business, to supplement her income, and also to use the skills and talents that she'd got. So when they were talking about New Year's resolutions or wanting to change things, getting to that point in their lives when they thought, is this it? Is this all there is? Is this all I came to the planet to do? Surely I can do more than this. They didn't faff around like a tart and believe the crap that society tells us, that we're too old or we're too fat or too thin or we've got too many kids or we've not got enough money or whatever. They said, what I want to do is this, this, and this, and they made a decision to change it. And by doing so, they impacted so many more lives. I mean, it's just amazing. I'm getting carried away. I'm moving on too fast. So what is it you really want? Can I suggest, I hope you've got a pen and you can write a few things down. Let me just check this list up here. What is it you really want? Is it really? What will losing weight bring you? What will finding the perfect partner, how will it make you feel? What will clearing your debts make you feel? What will earning more money make you feel? What will those things bring you? That's what we should be looking at, not losing weight is the process to get to feeling confident about your body. Starting a business, clearing your debts, getting a better job is a process to helping you feel more wealthy, helping you feel more fulfilled, perhaps. And what they all bring us, I put this to you for your consideration, what they all bring us is happiness, isn't it? Isn't that the New Year's resolution we should all be making? To be happier, to be more happy, and then look at what we can change to make us more happy. Christina says yes. And I agree with you, Christina. Oh, it's taken me hundreds of years to get this in my brain. I was so focused on, I need to earn more money, I need more clients, I need to create a better program, I need to spend more time with my nieces and nephews, I need to Oh, well, I need to. Yes, but what do you want? What do you really want? From Donna, perfectly put, Kim. Thank you. Yeah, it's taken me. Anyway, the reason it's taken me this long, and I'm stopping faffing about like a tart now, is for you not to have to spend that long. All right? Please don't wait until you're in. I'm 62. Don't wait until you're 62 or 63 like Di and Carol to suddenly have this revelation of there has to be more in life. You can do this when you're 22. Depends how your brain works, and that's what we're going to look at shortly. So how can we get specific? Mm-hmm. I thought you were 52. Thank you, Christina. I love doing this. It's very nice to get compliments, but I love doing this because I just love doing it. Dear. Okay, so how do you get what you want? People who consistently get what they want. Oh God, I am working through this with another group at the moment, and it's blowing my mind. That's why I'm doing this today. I'll be bringing you that stuff very shortly because it's so exciting and magical, and it's changed my life completely over the last few days, couple of weeks really. Neil and I have both been poorly over Christmas. He developed double pneumonia. I mean, seriously, double pneumonia, frightening. Anyway, he's had the antibiotics and he's on the mend, thank goodness. But it seriously does give you time sometimes when you're feeling a bit less than 100% to sit and think about this stuff. So I started doing a course again that I'd half done before. Flipping Nora. I think it's because we are angry and want to get our dreams and goals fast that frustrates many of us. Absolutely. Trudy says, sorry, that's Christina. Thank you. Yes. And this year I'm thinking seriously on what I really want. So Trudy says, beautiful eyes, you darling. Thank you. I have my mother's eyes, apparently. She's no longer with us. She is watching right now. So thank you very much. People who consistently get what they want do so because they know what they want. It's making me cough. Do you know, this throat chakra is the area of change. Neil says to me, why are you always coughing? I've coughed since I had bronchitis as a child. And my whole life has been about wanting to change. Amazing, isn't it? It's one of my words, one of my missions in life to help you change. But I have to keep changing. And so when you cough, you want to be heard. If you've read Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, strongly recommend it. I can't even reach it. No, it's behind here. So I can't get to it because I'm not to touch this because I'm a disaster in the office and things go flying. But You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay was the start of my personal development journey. And she talks about the throat is the area of change. So when you want to change, and that's, I think, what we're talking about today, what needs to change if 2019 is going to be better, this is the area you need to concentrate on. The throat chakra will tell you everything. Oh, it's blue, by the way. The color of the throat chakra is blue. So people who consistently get what they want know what they want. They have specific goals. So it's not like, I just want to lose weight. It's, I want to lose 3 pounds this week. They set specific goals. They have a plan. They have a design for the rest of their, whatever the time schedule is. Shall we just talk about the next year? just to make it easy. So they have a plan or a design for the next 12 months that says, in the next 12 months, I'm going to do this, I'm going to achieve that, I'm going to make that amount of money, I'm going to have that amount of clients, I'm going to, like we love to go to the seaside. Let's go to the seaside, let's go to Stratford and see a Shakespeare play, let's go to the London West End and see a theatre production, and let's put that in the diary now. That's how people who consistently get what they want work. Have I been doing that? No. Because I'm that busy doing, that busy focusing on the process, which is the how, that I've not put my energy and my thoughts and my beliefs and my focus into what I want and how it will make me feel. So what is the purpose of this life? I'm going to talk about your purpose shortly, but what is the purpose of life? Why are we having this human experience? Is it because we've brought some crap from a previous incarnation and we've got to deal with it? I don't hold with that. That might be your view. My personal view is we're here to learn how to be happy. And it's no more difficult than that. We make it difficult. And you don't have to, because you have a choice. You see, your ego, without my glasses, I keep having to go like this, sorry, to read my notes. Without you have choice. Do you realize that? That is one of my missions in life, to tell everybody they have choice, because perhaps you don't realize it. Your ego's priority, if you work with archetypes, this is your saboteur. You have 4 survival archetypes, and the saboteur is one of those. My saboteur is called Diego, and he lives on this shoulder, and he is a Spaniard, and he's very flamboyant. And when he talks to me, it's very dramatic, we're safe as we are. Why rock the boat, Kim? And your saboteur, your ego, whatever you want to call it, his or her job is to keep you safe. Marvelous, thank you, brilliant. But a safe life is a boring life, in my opinion. Has been for me. When I've risked it for a Swiss kid. Anybody remembers that advert? Shows how old I am. And let's risk it for a Swiss kid. When you risk it, when you jump off the cliff, you will fly. You will, because there's so much going on to support you, and you have a choice. You can choose the safe path of, for me, safe path is boredom. Same old, same old. And as you probably know, if you keep on doing what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. That won't implement change. That won't help you change. So I believe your priority is to learn. Actually, it's to remember, because you know what will make you happy. You think you don't know what you want, but you do. If you work with me, I'd have it out of you in a very short space of time. You know exactly why you're here, you know what you're here to do, and you know what will make you happy. You've just forgotten. That's all, because you've got caught up in the crap. So you're busy berating yourself probably 3 weeks into the new year because you didn't carry on with those daft New Year's resolutions. Probably you didn't carry on with them because they're not specific enough. You're berating yourself because you're too old, you're too young, and all that rubbish. They're all lies, total and utter lies. But what is happening is that right now you're having a realization that you haven't yet achieved what you may recognize as goals, But something deep inside, something that is gnawing away at you, that is saying, there has to be more. I have more to give. What can I do about it? How can I get this stuff out into the world, make an impact, make a difference, be fulfilled, live a meaningful life on purpose? And there's the rub, as Shakespeare would say. That's the conflict that goes on. Safety versus what you'd really, really like to do. And you're coming up with the excuse, well, I don't know what I'd really like to do, so I can't get on with it. Balderdash. You've just forgotten. You've suppressed it because of outside influences, and let's come to that. So the first step is awareness. That's the first step. When you realize you're saying to yourself, there has to be more. You're no longer in self-delusion where you think, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I want to do. I'll just carry on doing what I've always done. Boring. I challenge you to be something other than boring and average. Oh, what a horrible word to use about people. It should only ever be used in the mathematical sense, the average of these three figures. Oh, but to call human beings average makes me want to slap somebody soundly. But that's what we're told, isn't it? You're just average. The average weekly wages. The average person goes on a 2-week holiday and takes them a full year to pay for it. All this rubbish. You're not average, but if that's what you're thinking, you're self-delusional. But that's the first step to acknowledging that. And now there are ways to get out of the fog. I warn you, once you start down this path, there is no going back. I talk about this with my mastermind colleague, Jackie. She's just so fabulous. We whinge about it and we are in seventh heaven about it. We started our self-development, personal development journeys in 2 different parts of the world, but it probably started around the same time. And then when we met 11 years ago, we just knew we were kindred spirits and on the same path. We have studied together with different mentors, different books, different courses. And the thing that always naffs me off in one way, but fills me with love and joy and peace in another way, is we know there's more. We absolutely believe deep in our bones, I feel it in my water, as my nan used to say, that there's more. But once you know that there's more, you can't go back to your old way of thinking. You just can't. You can get out of the fog and you can step into a zone where nothing can hold you back. But I tell you, if you go down this road, your choice. One thing I want you to understand, as you take this step, because you might want to switch off now, but if you've got the guts to go for it, one thing you need to understand is there's nothing wrong with you, and there never was. It's all been a lie. So why haven't you got what you've always wanted? Bob Proctor, big Bob Proctor, he was in The Secret, and he was personal mentor to my first business mentor. And so we were regaled with what Big Bob said all the time. Purpose leads to vision. Vision leads to goals. So if you have a purpose for your life, if you understand what you're here on the planet to do, then setting New Year's resolutions or goals or visions and whatever becomes easy peasy lemon squeezy, because then it fits in to your purpose. Everything gels. And this is what's happened to me over the last couple of weeks. And certainly Monday, I keep writing about it, a Damascus moment, like Saul on the road to Damascus, who became Paul. I had one of those moments where I thought, oh my God, night, Kim. Just changed everything. So this year is going to be wildly different for us. Your habits are designed to stop you from changing. And who encourages you to stay in the same habits that you've always practiced for most of your life? Everybody around you. Now, you need to understand that everybody around you perhaps doesn't have this feeling. There must be more. You are in the top 5% of the world's population. I kid you not. This isn't just to make you feel good. Surveys have been done by all sorts of gurus who work with this, and also at a scientific level. The majority of people, as Seth Godin calls them, are sheep walking, following the crowd, doing what everybody says is acceptable. When you have this revelation that something has to change, or you'll run for the hills, you've moved up into this top 5% of the population, because you're going to be the ones who change the world. Sorry, we're going to be the ones who change the world. I include myself. I am determined. Nearly slap the table then, but then everything shakes. Now, the people around you, think about this in a different way. They depend on you. This is your parents, your siblings, your teachers, your employers, work colleagues, friends, neighbours, anybody that you allow input into your life. You have choice. You do not have to allow them to influence you in any way, shape, or form. But I suggest to you that so far you have. We all do. We grow up surrounded by people who are who've listened to their parents, teachers, employers, etc. And we're a product of this society that teaches us to live a small life, to live a safe, secure life. And yet what do? They frighten us to death with news, adverts, documentaries, products that we're allowed to buy, products that are taken off the market deliberately to make us live in fear that the only way we can live our life is to work hard, to work longer hours, to earn more money, to have a bigger house, to have a car, to go on a flash holiday, to wear flash clothes. All those things that society says makes you a better person. It's a load of crap. So the people around you are influencing you, but they depend on you to stay sheep walking. That is following the crowd. If you've ever, we've got sheep in the field out here at the back. The farmer brings them in, and once he calls them, they all just follow like sheep. And if there was a cliff there, they'd just walk straight off the end of the cliff, because that's what sheep do. I put it to you that you do not have to be a sheep any longer. You have a choice. See, they're dependent on you because if you stay like them, they feel comfortable. It makes their life easy. Hang on a minute. It makes their life easy. What about your life? Who are you? What do you want? Put them out of your mind. So why haven't you got what you want? What do you want? On a course I ran, we put this on the flip chart, and these are some of the things that people came up with. 1 million in the bank, a plethora of clients clamoring at the door, the life you actually want, time for yourself, time to develop yourself, recognition, satisfaction, self-belief, confidence, valuing what you do. Those are the things that quite a few people came up with, and those are what we wrote on the flip chart. Do you see where we started with that? 1 million in the bank, plethora of clients. It was all about processes. And then as we got into it, it was much more about satisfaction with life, happiness, recognition, all those feelings. These are emotions. That's what life's about, not doing. It's about being. So here are 4 points to consider. Excuse me, throat chakra again, as to why you haven't got all the above. You might want to write these down. Number 1, no one has taught you so far how to claim the life that you really want. So that could be the time to work on yourself, to do the self-development, to travel, to spend time with the family, to spend time exercising, going to the beach, whatever. Nobody's taught you how to claim that type of life. And no one has taught you how to claim recognition or satisfaction or self-belief. Our system is designed to take money away from you. So nobody's taught you how to keep money, how to make money. So those are the 4. No one's taught you how to claim the life you want. No one's taught you how to claim recognition or self-belief. Our system is designed to take money from you, and our system does not teach you how to make money. And these are the habits of generation after generation after generation. Your parents, those people who brought you up, your teachers, everybody around you, they're not trying to control you. The government and big corporations, I could go on for hours, they're definitely trying to control you. But all these other people are just doing the best they can with the knowledge that they were given themselves. Is it time to stop the rot? If you've got children yourself, what are you passing on to them? That they have to work hard to earn a lot of money? Crap, rubbish. So let's carry on. And here's a 5th one to add to that list. Think about this. Now, I've tried to word this so that you do think clearly about this. You are not currently the person you were meant to be. Right now, you are not currently the person you were meant to be. Because if you were right now who you were meant to be, that brilliant, talented, satisfied, totally admired, confident person, then we wouldn't be sat here now, would we? Is there room for change? Do you want to change? Others don't want you to change. Remember that. They want to keep you at their level because they don't know any different. And if you change, it will upset the status quo. But you have a choice. 95% of the population never even get to hear this stuff. You don't have to go with it, though. This is your choice. I would love to insist that each one of you makes a change, becomes the person you were always meant to be. But that's what I want for you. I can't do that for you. Really frustrates me. It's always frustrated me. So when my family say what you do isn't a proper job, because to them a proper job is going to corporate prison land at 9 o'clock in the morning, working in some boring office or shop, working for people that I wonder how the hell they got to a position of power, because they shouldn't be there. Earning a decent regular salary that buys me a big house and a nice car and holidays and everything. That's to them a proper job. To me, that is purgatory. Purgatory. One of my mastermind group, he runs a multi-million pound cleaning business in the north of England. And he's recognised by friends and colleagues, anyone who comes into contact with him, as a successful, affluent managing director. But he hates it. He gets no satisfaction from running this blasted company, as he calls it. But he's got what we were talking about before. He's got $1 million in the bank, probably more now. A plethora of clients clamoring at the door. They have to turn them away. He's got the lifestyle that he believed he should have. He's got the house, the car, the holidays. And through the mastermind work we were doing, he's got the time, because he's got the money to invest in developing himself. And he's got the recognition and the satisfaction and the self-belief that he can run a multi-million pound business. But when he went home and told his family all about this stuff I'm talking about now, and don't do this, this is the lesson, don't go home and tell your family, because they're the last people you should be talking to about this stuff to. He went home from one of our mastermind meetings. We used to meet every month without fail. There were 53 of us. We used to meet twice a month, actually. And he went home and told his family all about this underground stuff. And even to this day, his brother still doesn't talk to him. Because what he told his brother challenged his brother's very reason for living. Now, that brother had a choice in how to respond to what Adam was telling him. But he chose to reject it, because if he'd listened to, you have a choice, you don't have to listen to the rubbish that the world teaches, you can make changes, you can start believing yourself, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy, then he would have had to change his life, and he couldn't handle that. So this stuff upsets people. So Christina says, true safe life is truly not just a boring life, and you can't be a leader if you have a safe life. You want to be a leader, Christina? Fan dabby dozy. That's what I want to do. Lead a group of lead people like you to become leaders. If this does it, hallelujah. Carol says, perhaps some of us need to learn how to manage potential rejection in our businesses. I know I do, and it's the main thing that's holding me back, rejection and criticism. Can I say, Carol, this might sound flippant, but I want you to write this down. Do as you're told. What other people think of you is none of your business. What other people think of you is none of your business. You will never be able to change what goes on in somebody else's head. So stop wasting energy on it. Donna says the same. Christina says, yeah, to all of you, what other people think of you is none of your darn business. Write it down. When family say, like my family have said, oh, that's not a proper job. I've said, well, I won't say it how I say it because I'm a strong red personality and I don't suffer fools at all. So my response would be quite sharp with family, friends, anybody in the street. I'm too old now to give a damn. I couldn't care less. Life is too short. There are 7.7 billion people on the planet right now. Do you realize that? 7.7 billion people. I don't need to listen to the damn silly ideas of a few. To run a successful business, you only need a handful of clients. Yes, you do. You need to find the ones that get you, that see you as you are. What other people think is none of your business. So when my family have said that's not a proper job, that's what I've said. What you think of me is none of my business, and that shuts them up immediately because this isn't about them. I've got a little exercise actually for you to, let me see where it is. I had to go through to find out what my purpose is, and I had to make a decision about how this would impact my life. And this is why I'm saying you have choice. You have to decide what's more important. Is it your life that's more important? For you to become the person you were always meant to be, to live a meaningful life on purpose, whatever you choose to do, to help people, to make a difference, to leave an impact, to leave a legacy. Is that more important than suppressing everything you want to keep a relationship going with someone who won't let you change, who does not want you to change, who will hound you verbally and with those looks, who will insist that you don't change if the relationship with them is to continue? Your choice. I've made my choices. Sometimes, what am I saying? Sometimes, every time when you decide to move on, when you decide to make change, when you instill it into your future, into your now, which then becomes your future. If you decide to make changes, there will be consequences. Oh my good night. I know it's horrendous. It's hideous. I have here, let me show you. I'm going to have to rewrite this out. This is a little post-it note that I wrote. Let me just, sorry. I don't know whether you can, I hope it's the right way around. If it isn't, I'll tell you. This used to be on my desk just here. It's the sticky bit's gone, so I'm going to have to rewrite it. My purpose is to learn and teach, learn and teach. Well, sorry, that's my process. My purpose is to tell everybody that you have a choice, but also to remind you that there are consequences with every choice you make. That's number one. Choices and consequences. There are other things as well. Confidence, courtesy and respect is huge for me, but choices and consequences go together like a horse and carriage. Yeah. There will be fallout. That's why I'm saying to you, think this through. What's more important, you and the life you're living, or them? Because they won't change to accommodate you unless they are also immersed in this world that I don't know whether you've fallen over or you've jumped into with open arms today. This is the world of change, of self-development, of impact, of leadership, of being who you were always meant to be. The only thing you have control over in your life is what you think. So if you're going to listen to other people, you have made a choice to listen to them, to adopt their way through life, because it's easier for you to take that path than it is to move out into what you were put on the planet to do. Now, I'm not saying that you have to make a huge decision between where you are now and where you'd like to be. That's a big step to take, and maybe you can't handle it. That's the first thing you need to think about. Can you handle that big change? My big change, my big Damascus moment that came on Monday, has been building for years. I kept pushing it away, getting on with the easy stuff, doing the stuff that people know me for, and thinking, I'm not ready to do that yet. Perhaps the world isn't ready. And the Damascus moment on Monday for me was, chuffing well, get on with it, Kim. But that has taken time to build. So I didn't do it all. I didn't read a book or take a course or whatever. Jackie and I have been working together for 11 years on this. With Adam, who was in my previous mastermind group, that was from a year previous. So that's 12 years of just working in mastermind groups where you get that comeback, you get the objective honesty that you get in a mastermind group, that you get from the other members who have your permission when you join a mastermind. This is all how they work. They have your permission to call you out. So my mastermind colleagues go, pardon, Kim? You're doing what? And that's what I can do with you. Trudy's saying, this is making me realize how supportive my husband is. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Have this little thingy that I wrote about Neil. I'll just praise you this. Good communicator, supportive, optimistic, positive, honest, sensitive, loves life, gentle but strong. I want a man who will stand up to me. He's an absolute saint. I've looked on his back to see where the marks for the wings are. I have. I'm convinced one day I'm going to find them, because he's an angel. To put up with me, he's got to be mad to start with. But to have a supportive partner, to have supportive family is not normal. I am blessed beyond. I am so grateful. I am every day. I thank God for Neil, because without him, I couldn't be. In fact, he actively encourages me to be who I really am and to drop the pretense. So this year, it's going out of the window. Okay. So at this point, what I'd like you to do is answer 6 questions. So take a piece of paper and do it now. Number 1, Donna says, I feel strangely emotional, but I think it's because you are just verbalizing how I've been feeling. Oh gosh, you're making me feel emotional as well. Yeah. I have sobbed this week. So I'm totally with you, Donna. Totally with you. When change hits, you feel it, as I said before, as my nan said, I feel it in my water. I feel it deep down, and it's taking over my life. This is why I had to talk to you today about it. Use those emotions. Use them to propel you forward, not sideways, not backwards. They say, a step in any direction is good. No, life's too short. Let's move forward here. So please answer these 6 questions. Just write down exactly what comes into your mind right now. This is not, apart from the last question, but the first 5 are just write down right now what comes to mind. Number 1, and this is a yes or no answer. Do you believe in yourself? Number 2, with your current business, do you believe in the products or services that you offer? If you don't have a business and you work for someone else, do you believe in the products or services that your employer offers? If you have several products or services, you may need to make a list and say yes or no to each of them. So what are you currently employed, either in your own business or via an employer, to sell, to offer to an end customer? Do you believe in them? Number 3, if you have a business, is it a real business? Is it a successful business, or is it a hobby? Be honest. Please, this is your moment to be honest. If you don't have a business, do you want one? And do you want a real business, or do you want to continue as a hobby? And just be honest. This isn't about right or wrong. This isn't about me trying to persuade you to become an image consultant or a dentist, or it's not about that at all. It's about you're not telling anybody else. I'm not going to ask you to share this. So colour and style, for instance, is it a hobby? Are you pretending to run a business? Are you running a real business? Be honest. Number 4, do you consider yourself to be motivated to offer whatever it is you sell? Are you motivated enough to offer those services? This is linked to, do you actually believe in the products or services that you offer? If you don't believe in them, you're probably not motivated to offer them, to promote them, to market to yourself. If you work for an employer, how do you feel when you're telling potential clients about the widgets you sell? Number 5, do you already have goals? You might have written them down, or you might have talked them through, but do you already have goals that get you out of bed every morning to do what it takes to either make your job better or your business better, or turn your hobby into a business? Do you already have goals that will get you out of bed each morning to do what it takes? Write them down. What are those goals? And hopefully by now they're not, I want to earn more money this year. The goal is a specific amount, or a specific number of customers, or a specific holiday that you want to pay for. But what are those goals? And if you don't already have them, can you write down one goal right now that would get you out of bed to improve and change your life in 2019? A real goal, a really specific goal. Now, number 6, what I'd like you to do is write the answer down, the first thing that comes into your brain. But then I'd like you to go away after this call and think about this clearly. Muse and peruse on this later. But for now, just write down the very first thing that comes into your brain. Number 6, what is your purpose on the planet? So number 1, do you believe in yourself? Yes or no? With your current business or the employer that you work for, do you believe in what you're selling? Yes or no? Number 3, do you have a real business or a real job? If you've started a business, a sideline, is it a hobby? Be honest. Yes or no? Number 4, do you consider yourself motivated to offer whatever it is you sell? Yes or no? Number 5, do you already have goals that get you out of bed every morning to do what it takes? Yes or no? And if you have them, write them down. If you don't have them, come up with one right now. Just one goal, one specific goal that would get you out of bed every morning to make the changes necessary. And number 6, what is your purpose on this planet? I invite you, I encourage you to go away and think about that later. But let's just move on. Are you all right to carry on a wee bit longer? So I wrote about this last week. A chap came to interview Neil and I from the Office of National Statistics. Apparently you picked out at random and asked about work and home. And one of the questions he asked was, if you could choose to do something else and earn more money, what would you do? And I just didn't even have to think about it. I just said to him, not a chance. I'd rather not earn anything and carry on doing what I'm doing. Because I'm here to help people like you remember what you're here for on the planet, help you to expand your business, help you to make the changes necessary to stop faffing around and just get on with it. But then when the chap had gone and I was relating this to Neil, I suddenly realised the profundity of where I was in life, the deep truth of of where I'd moved from to right now. If I had to work for somebody else and do things their way, I'd be sick. If I had to suppress the real me to fit in, I'd probably be up for GBH. And if I couldn't do what I was on the planet to do, I would run off the nearest cliff because there would be no ruddy point to me living. That was the deep emotional feeling that I was expressing with, of course, I would continue doing what I'm doing. What about you? Are you doing what you really, really love? Are you fulfilling your purpose on this planet? What if, this sounds dreadful, I know, but it's serious. What if one of those unstable morons out there pushed the button right now? Because anything can happen. We have no control over what anybody else does or what they think. So what would flash through your mind as you prepare to meet your creator? I know what mine would be. If only I'd had more time, I would have achieved my dreams. I still haven't achieved what I'm after. That's why I think I had this Damascus moment on Monday, because I've realized, no, I'm just going to get on with it and do it, because If I don't, I'm going to die a miserable old. Life can be whipped from us in a moment's notice. A moment's notice. It's too short. Life's too short to faff around any longer. Look, if you've always wanted to sing, join a local choir, and for goodness sakes, start singing now. If you've always wanted to make delicious curries or bread or whatever, then ask your friends on Facebook or whatever for recommendations of a local cookery course and start cooking now. If you've always wanted to do something with, let's say, your love of colour and style, then find a training course that suits you, doesn't have to be with me, and start helping people look and feel confident now. We're in a new year, and this is a huge opportunity for you to change because it makes sense in your brain. If you don't want to bring the garbage of 2019 with you, 2018 into this year, something's got to change. Einstein said, "You cannot solve a problem with the same thinking that created it." Think of the implications of that. If you carry on doing what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. So if a particular state of thinking caused your current state of being, your financial state, your health, your relationships, your job prospects, your desire to leave an impact, if that's where you are, then the state of thinking that created that is no longer relevant because you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking. Your thinking has to change. You have to change. You have to stop thinking of yourself as the old you. Now, I said to you, I've got a way for you to start thinking about how to make some of these changes. This is one of the ways I worked. So there was I needed to distance myself. I had this huge realization. I needed to distance myself from a certain group of people and I did that in my mind's eye. Now, what I've read is draw a line in the sand. Well, no, excuse me. When you draw a line in the sand, the tide comes in and washes the line away. No. So what I did, I drew a line between me and those people in the crust of the earth. This is in my mind's eye. So it's a visualization technique, if you like. I don't understand all the ins and outs. I drew a line in the earth's crust. And I put that group of people on that side, on the far side of the line. And then I imagined that line turning into, what did I call it? A volcanic eruption, which split the Earth's crust. And it formed a huge chasm between them and me. So I imagined how to distance myself. I created a new reality that they no longer impact me because the chasm is too big for them to cross. They won't cross it. I certainly won't. And they're so busy living their own lives. That's what we all do. We all think about ourselves 95% of the time. They won't cross the chasm. I won't cross the chasm. End of subject. They no longer invade my thoughts. I put it to you that you could do the same. So Aileen says, Thank you, Kim. You are an inspiration as usual. You're a sweetheart. Thank you. I have a few people struggling with the changes I am making right now. As a people pleaser, well, you are a yellow personality. So Aileen says, as a people pleaser, I'm having to be aware and stick to my guns every day. Would this little exercise help, do you think? Because what you're going to do with this exercise is change your thinking and change your emotional response to those people. So especially family, the little darlings, don't they invade our thinking a lot? Don't they cause us to question what we're doing? When in actual fact, they just don't want you to change. That's the be all and end all. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with them, but you're different. You don't have to live the same life that they want to live. You realize you have a choice. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was how to become financially independent in 2019, because that will help you achieve a lot of what you want to do. So let me tell you the story of Waldberger. You know, I can picture this lady from a business that we were both involved in a long time ago, and I cannot for the life of me remember her real name. So it's a good job I'm calling her Waldberger. I can remember her husband's name, and I can remember the names of her 4 children, but I can't remember her name. Really irritating. Sorry, that's just me. So her husband had a building company, and this was in about 2008 when the recession first hit, and building companies, construction or whatever it was called, just went down the pan. And all the jobs he was working on, virtually all the jobs, because they were all private homes, all the jobs just stopped. People had lost their jobs. People were expecting to lose their jobs, so they thought, I need to curtail every penny I'm spending, and the last thing we need is a new conservatory or a new front wall or a new kitchen or whatever. I can't remember quite what he did, but it was something in that vein. So Waldberger, she had 4 kids. They had a big 4-bedroomed house, and with a big mortgage. They'd got a holiday half paid for. They got no money coming in at all. She joined a direct selling company that I was involved in at the time. And she went hell for leather, and she built a marvelous team, and she saved the family home. And in the process, she discovered all the hidden gifts and talents that she had to run a successful business. See, mothers, ladies who run the home, you've got the skills required to run a business. You just don't know it. You're already running a business. That's what a family is. It's good practice. You see, when you work for someone else, you are at their mercy. If you work for a factory, in a factory, if the orders dry up, you go, you get your cards. If you work for, like I worked for banks for years, fortunately through the good times, but now the banks are cutting high street outlets all the time. Marks and Spencer, one of the biggest, what would you call it, department stores in the UK, announced this week they are closing 17 more stores, which will affect about 1,200 people's jobs. And apparently, there's still a way to go. They intend to close in total 100 stores nationwide. 55 have already gone. There's another 45 to go. That's thousands of people are going to lose their jobs because Marks and Spencer have decided their current business model isn't working. They need to change. Direct selling. What happened was this company that we worked with, by which time I'd long since moved on, because it's not my thing. You know, I'm an introvert. I'm a I don't do girly get-togethers. Direct selling and all the rah-rah stuff doesn't work for me. But Waldberger had built a big business, and she even started to pay off some of the debts that the family had incurred while her husband's building company hit the bottom. And this direct selling company went to the wall. I made a list. After I'd written this, I thought I was involved in about 6 different direct selling companies, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of them out of 6 went to the wall. I got out well before I can read the signs. Now, Waldberger had already done some colour training with me because this company sold colour coordinated clothes, and it was all built around a capsule wardrobe. So at one of the managers training sessions, and in fact the company was started with a group of image consultants. That's how this direct selling company was set up in the UK back in the early 80s. And I ran a training for some of the managers in this direct selling company. And I said, you're selling colour coordinated clothes. Wouldn't it be helpful to show your customers whether to buy cool or warm, for instance? Let's just stick to that. So she came and she did some training with me. And she was able, when this direct selling company hit the wall, she was able to switch very quickly her business income over to more colour training, more colour analysis and consultations. But so many other people were being cast aside, and she was saying to me, there are this number of people in my team, can you train them in colour because we need to do something fast? This happened with the very first direct selling company I was involved. So, sorry, 5 out of the 6, they all changed. One of them, a big company that everybody knows about, American company, that went to court in the US. That wasn't very nice. A perfume company I was involved with, the owners got divorced. Another perfume company, the owner met her life partner and left the country to live with him. So at any moment, you can have the floor, the carpet, whatever you call it, whipped from under you. And if you work for an employer, if they're not getting orders or they haven't managed their business properly, you may be out of a job. So what would happen if the doo-doo hits your fan? You could start your own business, turn that hobby into an income producer. So if you play guitar, for instance, you could teach guitar. If you sell color coordinated clothes, you could find your own supplier and set up your own business. If you sell in a direct selling company, if you sell, I don't know, skincare and they go to the wall, you could source your own products, but that all requires investment. And you could start a high street shop, but that would cost you hundreds of thousands, and think of all the stock you need. What about an online training for setting yourself up in business for the rest of your life for chicken feed? So let's take, obviously, I'm going to talk about my best training course, not anybody else's. Why would I do that? I'm not stupid. Colour analysis training in a box. You can offer, and this is what Waldberger and her consultants did. They did my colour analysis training and were able to convert all their direct selling customers into customers who had colour analysis, who learned about colour personality. They ran workshops, they ran colour consultations, they worked with local businesses. And the total investment at the most, including all the drapes and swatches, what I did was, let me show you. I'm not going to get them out. These are my 4 seasonal fans. These are my 6 safe tonal fans. In here I've got, gold and silver and cream and white pearls, gold and silver belts and cream and white pearls. And here I've got a pack of drapes. That's it. Apart from a mirror, which you will find in anybody's home. And if you don't, leave immediately. That's it. That's my kit. If you invested in my the kit I used for drapes and wallets with 66 drapes and all those wallets and a cover-up cape, that would cost you £350. So let's say, at the most, including the training course, plus all your props, you invested £1,500. That's it. 15 clients paying 100 each, and you would have recouped your entire investment. 10 clients paying 150 each would also recoup your investment. And from then on, you're in profit for life. For life. Whereas if you buy a shop, you've got to keep reinvesting in stock to feed the customers who walk in. If you set up a company selling jewelry or clothes or whatever, you have to keep reinvesting your profits into stock to be able to supply those people. With a training course like Colour in a Box, £1,500, and you've got a business for life. I have run this business everywhere. I don't take my drapes and wallets with me when I travel abroad, and yet I can still run this business because I teach you how to do it, how to do colour analysis in your head. You could be earning part-time what, and we laughed about this earlier, what the statistics call the average UK annual income of about 27,000. You could be earning that working part-time in this business. You could become financially independent with one training course. Now, please remember, I ran a colour-only business for, I always forget whether it's 17 or, let's call it 17 years before I finally understood what style and wardrobe, and I played around with wardrobe and shopping and hated them to death. Wish I'd never done them, but now I can teach it on and give you the benefit of a training course. You can add that later if that's your thing. It's not mine. Can't stand sorting out people's wardrobes. I can't stand doing personal shopping, but that might be your gift and talent. If you prefer to learn everything, then there's my ultimate image training program, and that contains colour and style and wardrobe and shopping and loads of support from me. But start with colour, and you would have a business straight away, and you would get, what you get is the opportunity to make money every year, every month, every week, if you choose, to fund the lifestyle of your dreams, to bring your goals into being, to create the holidays, the house, the whatever, but on your terms, not on the terms of everybody else. It's easy peasy to become financially independent, and then you don't have anybody telling you, sorry, we're not selling anything this month, we're going to have to let you go. Sorry, we're having to wind up this direct selling company because the owners have been too greedy, or the suppliers have dried up because they're not selling anything. When you have a consultancy business, you can call it coaching, counseling if you like, because that's what I end up getting involved in. But when you offer a consultancy, you don't have stock. All you need to do is learn how to do it once. And then you get out there and sell yourself. So going back to those questions of, do you remember the 6 questions? Do you believe in what you're selling? I believe in colour and style because I know I'm fulfilling my purpose by helping other people become who they were meant to be. So all those 6 questions get all intertwangled. And when you start to have something you believe in, something that you can sell easily, something that other people want, something that is not dependent on anybody else providing premises or a check-in card to get into the factory or the shop every day, somebody paying you, you are responsible and able to make your own income for the rest of your life. Then you start to believe in yourself. Then you start to have a reason to get up in the morning. Then you have goals that are specific, and then they become achievable. And then you go full circle, and your purpose in life starts to be an everyday part of your life. That's why I love this way of teaching you how to be financially independent. This is a simple way for you to make a change right now in 2019 so that it's going to be better than last year and the year before. Remember, the only thing you have control over in your life is your own thinking. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about you because it's none of your business. You won't change how they think because the only thing they have control over is what they think. You can't change that, but you can change what you think. I would love to help you become financially independent. I'd love to help you get your thinking straight. I'd love to see you move on. I'd love to see you become the person you were always meant to be. But only you can make that decision, which is really irritating because I'd like to go and encourage you, with love, of course, to make those changes.